The Human Organ and Tissue Transplant Bill, which was first tabled in the National Assembly on December 16, 2021, was described by Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony as one of the most advanced pieces of legislation in the region and represents an important step in the transformation of the local health sector. This act makes provision for the removal of human organs, tissues, cells, and biofluids for the transplantation and blood transfusion. In his presentation on Monday, the minister noted that local doctors have been transplanting solid organs for over 14 years without the use of any legal structure.
This bill seeks to remedy that deficiency. So I cannot see what is wrong with us introducing, now for the first time, after so many decades of doing transfusion, a piece of legislation to govern how transfusions would be done.
The passage of this bill gives way for a more structured transplant system. Additionally, now that the bill has been passed, it is expected that a National Organ and Tissue Transplant Agency will be established to manage any removal, donation, and transfer of human organs. Further, the agency will work closely with hospitals permitted to conduct surgeries to assist them in establishing operating procedures. The passage of the bill was not without strong objections from the APNU-AFC camp, with Shadow Minister of Health Dr. Karen Cummins calling the bill to be referred to a special select committee for further scrutiny.
Though this bill, number 19 of 2021, is timely, the populace doesn't have a full understanding of this subject, as there are human rights issues. We believe that the consultative process, which was started by the coalition government in 2017, should have been continued, and that there should have been a broad information campaign explaining all the provisions made in this new legislation.
This call was, however, rebuked by Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Anil Nandlal, who speculated that the parliamentary opposition did not read the bill and, as such, cannot make accurate pronouncements. The bill was also supported by opposition member Lennox Schumann, who urged that all services that will be derived from the passage of the bill must be accessible to persons residing in the country's hinterland. On another note, the amended Powers of Attorney Bill 2021 was also passed by the National Assembly on Monday. According to Minister of Legal Affairs Anil Nandlal, the bill will prevent the perpetuation of fraud. A power of attorney is a written document of authorization to represent or act on behalf of another person in matters that are private, business, or legal. However, it was conveyed that locally there are some issues with this authorization.
A power of attorney by law must be executed. Several administrative decisions were taken and policies implemented at the Registry to strengthen the system there. However, they are not enough. Unfortunately, in many cases, those who prepare the legal instruments, such as powers of attorney, are either complicit in the fraud or are negligently executing their statutory functions, and that contributes significantly to the creation of fraudulent and illegal instruments. A power of attorney by law must be executed before a notary public or a magistrate. One would think that a person holding such a high office will not be particip criminis or would exercise his functions with due circumspection and care. At a minimum, one would expect that they would take the necessary steps to verify the identity of the witnesses, of the persons involved in the transaction, and they would physically witness the appending of their signatures to the document. Clearly, that does not take place, as exemplified by the Marlin Tutts case.
The bill specifies that a power of attorney will only be vested with the donor of the power and the donee of the power appealing personally together before a public notary or magistrate. The two parties shall provide a notary or judge two photograph identification documents that establish their identity and a photocopy of each of the documents. Importantly, an attorney who fails to comply with the requirements commits an offense and is liable on a summary conviction of 5 years and $5 million fine, and in the case of a corporate body, $10 million. Consequential to the passage of the Power of Attorney Bill, the National Assembly also passed the Amended Deeds Registry Bill 2021, which makes provision for strict penalties to be meted out against individuals who fail to register, file, or record powers of attorney without the requisite documents. The Attorney General conveyed that this bill will make it challenging for persons to commit fraud. Timeka Rodney reporting for the HGB Nightly News.